California to continue to target Latinos, including sometimes picking up U.S. citizens to check their immigration status. It is a major win for the president as he ramps up his immigration crackdown across the country. Now, the court did not explain its decision, but Justice Brett Kavanaugh wrote that it's reasonable to question people based on certain criteria, including ethnicity. Justice Sonia Sotomayor led the dissent, writing, "We should not have to live in a country where the government can seize anyone who looks Latino, speaks Spanish, and appears to work a low-wage job." Van Jones, I mean, this is your state of California where you live.
My city, too.
And your city. I mean, what do you make of the Supreme Court's decision to even weigh in this way without really explaining the legal rationale?
I'm just going to say it's really heartbreaking. I think if you're not in LA and you just kind of think about, oh, well, should the Supreme Court step in? Should judges be micromanaging the actions of the executive branch? It's very, very theoretical stuff. If you're in Los Angeles, it is a nightmare. I have relatives who are Mexican American. They live a completely different life than I do. I'm African American. Nobody's bothering me. I go wherever I want to. There are people who are U.S. citizens, multiple generations. They are living in terror. And the behavior of these officers, I don't care if you're on the right or on the left, is appalling. They are so rude. They are so aggressive. They are so violent. They are so disrespectful. It's not making people in LA feel like they're creating any more safety, for sure. In fact, the opposite. And they're going after people who they have no business going after. Listen, there are people in LA who are criminals, that sort of stuff. That's not who they're going after. This dragnet is going after nannies. It's going after everyday people who should not be treated this way in any country. It is so appalling. That's why people went to court. God, can you please stop this kind of behavior? And for the Supreme Court to say, we have no problem with it. And by the way, the fact that they've admitted that they're going after people because they're Latin, because they're brown, is okay with us, because that can now be a relevant factor. It feels now like open season.
But that's not what the decision. But that's not what the decision that was written by Judge Kavanaugh
says. It's a relevant factor.
He's concurring.
Okay, he's only concurring.
He's concurring. He's giving the reasoning for his reasoning for the court.
How do you see it?
But Babby, what he said was, we don't think the person who brought the suit is going to win on the ground of standing. Yes, he addresses some of the factors that Van just spoke about, but to go into any court, you need to be a victim. You need to be someone who is personally in harm's way. I can't say bring a case on behalf of Abby. Abby's got to bring the case on behalf of herself. And Kavanaugh says, I think when they come to the court, they're going to lose that. They're going to lose that factor because now here's the catch-22. Is an immigrant who gets thrown down by an ICE agent, they're going to go to the Supreme Court of the United States? Probably not.
I mean, that's a huge part of the problem.
That's the catch-22.
Because those people
but the law but it's a fundamental law. You have to have standing to get into a courthouse.
With all due respect, the Supreme Court did not even deign to give us an opinion on this issue. So that's Kavanaugh's explanation for Kavanaugh's vote, which is only one vote. And I have to say, the fact that they are providing these decisions without any explanation, why Justice Amy Coney Barrett has time to write a memoir, but not a decision on an issue that affects all of our rights, is frankly outrageous. And the truth is, we have no idea whether the Supreme Court is basically sanctioning a system where everybody who's brown has to come with papers because basically ICE officers can really go after any single person. We don't know if that's the limit of this decision or not because they didn't give us any rationalization.
It's not a decision on the merits, so this is only on the stay from the lower courts. I mean, the case will come back on the merits.
We don't know if it applies to Los Angeles, to California, or to the country.
But we will when it comes back. When they hear the full case on the merits, we'll have it.
Maybe.
I think it is important sort of technical context, right?
Sure.
But both of you can be right at the same time in the sense that the court is they're kicking this back down, allowing the conduct to continue on a technicality, and then they're not explaining that to the public. So
they were
I
asked
do
to
think
decide on a technicality.
Yeah,
that's what
right,
the
but
appeal
I'm saying,
was
I think
based
the
on.
lack of explanation continues to be an issue.
But that was
I
their
do
job.
wanna
Their
read-
job in
I
this
do
case
wanna
was to
read-
decide the emergency stay or not.
Let me
That's
read a
their
little
job.
bit more from what
rationales
Kavanaugh
all the
did
time.
say, because he did dabble in the substance here, okay? He says, reasonable suspicion means that only that immigration officers may briefly stop the individual and inquire about immigration status. If the person is a U.S. citizen or otherwise lawfully in the United States, that individual will be free to go after the brief encounter.
But
now,
it's
he
not
wrote
that-
that knowing
Yeah,
that is,
exactly.
I mean, I don't know if he knows,